Yeah, where's our ad read for this week? Who's is this show sponsored by Hamm's?
Oh, this show is most definitely sponsored by Hamm's.
It's definitely sponsored by Hamm's. After
this show is brought to you by Hamm's and my liver.
Welcome to the Bands Make Her Dance Fantasy Football League Podcast with your hosts Taylor LaPrairie and Joe LaFleur.
What's up, guys? Welcome in week 2 of the pod. Oh, baby, we are in the season.
I love
officially.
it. I love it so much. I was like up all night last night looking at the waiver wire in all my leagues. This is the feeling of anxiety and stress. This is what I've been missing in my life.
Now, do you remember how you felt this time last year, Taylor?
Oh gosh, I remember feeling like I was on top of the world, and then I think I rattled off like 5 losses in a row. So it was
a rough showing after week 1 last year, if I remember. But yes, well, we're back at it, coming to you on September 16th, Thursday morning, the usual pod time. We got back on track too. We were off last week, but we have since recalibrated. We're back into it, talking football, talking news, talking more name changes because it seems like that'll be a weekly occurrence, as it always is. Got to check out this last week's games, some barn burners, some close calls. The game of the week that we were all surprised about last week ended up being a barn burner. Came down to the wire. It was very exciting.
very true.
Did you watch any football this weekend, Taylor?
I did. I really tried not to watch, to be honest, because it's just too stressful. But I did turn on I was inputting all of our grades, and I put on the Vikings game, which is a very bad choice, and it was just so frustrating. I'm so done.
The Bengals.
I know. I might burn my Kirk Cousins jersey.
Oh no!
It's over. It's over for us. Zimmer. I don't think he's going to be like the first coach fired, but I do not think he'll be our coach next year. Nothing's working. The offensive line's terrible. It's all doom and gloom.
You know, I didn't watch any of that game, so I can't really speak to it. But, you know, it was disappointing from the Vikings' perspective. I think that everyone was kind of excited because you made so many moves on the defensive side of the ball, but unfortunately, it doesn't seem like much of it panned out very well.
I mean, I know that everybody just wants us to talk about Vikings football right now, but like every offensive lineman we've drafted in the top 3 rounds is like not starting. None of them have panned out. The guy that we grabbed in the first round this year, he's like injured with like I think it's like a core muscle injury, so he'll probably just be out for the next 8 weeks. So yeah, it's a rough time to be a Vikings fan. But that's the only game I watched, and then after that, I was pouting.
It's a great time to be a Chiefs fan. Tell you that.
When I checked, I saw y'all were down.
They had us in the first half. If you know that meme that they had us in the first half. We had them right where we wanted them. No, it was a little bit of a rough start to the game. I was there actually in Arrowhead. The Symphony ended up playing the national anthem at the beginning of this game on the field at Arrowhead. So I got to see the player entrances on field. And I tell you, dude, this, like, You did Spartan Marching Band. I did Spartan Marching Band. You know, like, it gets loud on the field, right? Like when you're, playing on the field. I kid you not. This was the single most loudest thing I have ever heard in my entire life. Like, it was insanely loud. When they announced Patrick Mahomes' name and we were on the field, it was deafening. It was 10 times louder than like any rock concert I've ever been to. It was like mind-boggling. Insane.
That's so awesome.
Super cool experience, though. Played the national anthem. They had a giant bomber jet do a flyover, too, and we were finishing up and stuck around for the game. And, yeah, it was a little bit nervous. The Browns, I'm telling you, the Browns are a good football team. You know this. I picked them to win the AFC North way back in, like, March of this year. And I think all the Baltimore injuries are really, just solidifying that pick for me. So Browns are good. Watch out, man. Baker had all day to throw the football. It was pretty wild. Great to see NFL football back. Great to see fantasy football back. We're going to get into it. Tay, I hear you got something special that you're sipping over there.
Well, no, it's not special. So you might be able to tell.
Can you get me another beer, please?
Thank you. My voice is like done. Like I've been yelling so much at the kids. No, I'm not yelling at the kids. Our microphones have just been like not working a lot, and so my voice is like done. So I'm not gonna drink a beer tonight. We have a very early morning rehearsal tomorrow. We got Andy Toth, designer, coming in, and we're starting rehearsal earlier than we normally do. So we're going 6:45 a.m. start time.
Oh my gosh! What?
I know. Yep.
That's disgusting.
So I don't know why I'm doing this, but I'm drinking. I got a cold brew today from this place called Summer Moon down here. So I'm sipping on my cold brew with a little bit of moon milk, their signature creamer they have. So.
Is it from the moon?
No, it is not. It is from condensed milk.
That's really disappointing.
And sugar. So yeah.
I was hoping it was like, from the moon, delivered by Jeff Bezos himself. Bezos, whatever, however you say it. I'm drinking beer. What am I drinking? I'm in St. Louis this week, actually, ladies and gentlemen, across the state, on the other side of the state. I got this, what is it called? Double dry hopped Citra IPA from 6 Mile Bridge. Looks pretty good. It's got a cool can. And,
that is very good.
It's pretty
Illuminati.
I was just about to say that. It's got, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see the little Illuminati sign. Don't forget, before we hop in, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, all the good stuff. Give us a like, give us a 5-star review, because it doesn't matter at all. It gets our ad reads up, Thomas.
Yeah, our ego skyrockets with those.
Yes,
reviews
and that's huge for morale. That's absolutely huge.
News from around the league.
Well, it wouldn't be football without injuries, of course, and we saw a couple players go down in week 1. That is very disappointing. Raheem Mostert out for the season, kneecap issues. I can't remember exactly what it was, if it was a chipped kneecap, if it was something, but it's season-ending surgery for Raheem.
Now, did the Lions coach get after his kneecaps? I thought he said something about eating kneecaps. Did he pull that out against Raheem Mostert?
Dan Campbell, go for the kneecaps.
Yeah, he really took him out now.
I didn't even think about that. This has completed my day. This has made my day here.
Yeah, we've gone full circle. Dan Campbell, he will be in the Super Bowl in 3 years.
He is the legend. Ryan Fitzpatrick off to the IR for several weeks with a hip subluxation. I have no idea what that is, but it doesn't sound fun. So he went down.
I heard it's like what Tua had in college, except it's not as bad,
Gotcha.
but it's something similar to that.
Yes. So Taylor Heineke for the Washington football team for the near future. He showed flashes in the playoff game last year, but it is a downgrade from Ryan Fitzpatrick. The outbreaks, I think, that we were hoping for Curtis Samuel when he gets back, and for Scarence Terrence, I think it's just a little bit of a hit on them, so that's kind of a bummer, because you were really hoping for those guys to blow up this year. Jerry Jeudy, high ankle sprain, not sure how long he's out. That's super disappointing, because he was the guy in Denver until he went down. His routes looked good. He was getting lots of targets. It was the Jerry Jeudy show, and now he's out for an extended period of time.
Yeah, I think that we were ready for the breakout with Jeudy, but obviously now that's over. Very curious what's going to happen now in Denver. Where are those targets going to go? I know that in one of my leagues, Cortland Sutton is available on the waivers,
which shocks me.
Yeah, it'll be a feeding frenzy to try to get him, I think, tonight.
Yeah, there will be lots of moves for that, I'm sure. Is there any other news I'm missing? I think those are the 3 big injuries, offensive injuries that happened this weekend. A couple defensive injuries that we're keeping our eye on. I know Miles Sanders has been did not practice today. Questionable tag right now, but it's only we're recording Wednesday, so it's only Wednesday. Still got plenty of time to get back. Saquon,
should be fine. Yeah.
Yeah, Saquon still dealing with stuff, but we knew this was going to be the case with Saquon as well. So
terrifying with Saquon. I know Thomas reached out to me. He's like, should I start him? I'm like, well, you did draft him, with your second pick. I feel like you should start him. And luckily he didn't need him to blow up. And Thomas had a great week 1. But
and that's because he texted me too. And I told him to start Saquon too. I was like, if you're going to start Saquon or Kareem Hunt, I mean, you gotta go with Saquon, but Yeah, luckily Thomas won, because if he didn't, we'd be hearing about it, Taylor.
Also,
it would be.
Thomas, I thought I was your oracle. I can't believe you're cheating on me with Joe. Ridiculous.
He loves me more. All right,
Yes,
name changes, as always, coming to you. Now, this name change, I'm a little nervous might change back because we're playing each other this week. The Defense Whisperer has turned into the Dak Chubb Show. But I do play Marshall this week, so we may see a quick flip back to the Defense Whisperer for like 24 hours on Sunday. I don't know. We'll see. And Lisa has turned into Look at My Staffy, showing a little bit of Stafford love, Kevin. I see it. Stafford had a good game, balling out, 3 tutters.
Yeah, Kevin, totally. That's totally what you were thinking, dude.
Love that. I'm pretty sure he's got a Stafford jersey, too. Or a Lions jersey. I don't know. Injured reserves have become Herbert and Step Gibson. Okay.
Yeah, I give that one a thumbs down. I was expecting better.
You have to go see the real name. I don't think it's much better. I don't like this name either. Stat Padford has become number 10 in Joe's power ranking. And apparently it's singular power ranking, not power rankings. Also, Thomas, you've never been number 10.
I know. He's trying to create some imaginary chip on his own shoulder, and it's kind of pathetic. Dude, don't be so salty. Come on.
Well, I like how it's my singular power ranking, like my only power ranking ever. I don't know.
Rolling my eyes.
He's trying to start some beef. Where's the beef, Thomas? Where's the beef? Waiver report. This was fun. First waiver run of the season, and some interesting things that went on.
Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. It feels this is how I know that this league has taken the next step. We're at the next level now because of all of the stuff going on with the waivers. It's also you can definitely we have some tilt rankings.
Oh, baby.
Some tilt power rankings. So this is based off of how many roster moves have been made. So number 1 in the tilt rankings is Evan Boehm. He has had 5 changes to his roster. Number 1 in the draft rankings, post draft, and he is also now number 1 in the tilt rankings. So that's not working out too well. And then in our number 2 spot, tilt rankings, Joe Lefevre.
Okay.
Yeah, you have had 4 moves, but obviously that's because the Gus Bus.
The Gus Bus. I tilted after Gus Bus was good.
Gus Bus blew a tire, and so you had to make some moves there. And then coming in a tie for our 3rd spot, Pujan as well as Derek. Both with having already 3 moves on their roster. So,
well, now I will say that some of this for all of us probably hasn't been. Some of it, at least I can speak for myself, has been tilting, but for others, maybe not so much, just because some of those were some pretty early pickups when stuff was happening with Gus Edwards. But I don't know. We'll see. All right. Let's see. All right. Sorry, I'm multitasking here. Also, someone is vacuuming above.
Someone vacuuming? Yeah. Are you in an Airbnb? A little bit. Are you in an Airbnb?
I'm in an Airbnb in Richmond Heights in St. Louis. Don't know where I am.
Very cool.
So anyway, all right. So let's run through these. The waiver report. Waivers ran this morning. The big pickup was Elijah Mitchell, running back for the San Francisco 49ers. Sick with a Goff gets him for $69. Very nice, Evan.
Pretty impressive.
Dude, nice.
And it's very nice. The next highest was yours truly at $65. I wavered a ton. Haha, no pun intended. Wavered a ton on this. I was going back and forth. I was as high as $102 at one point. I was as high as $80. And then I went down to $65 because I knew it was probably going to be Kevin and I going after him. Kevin had Raheem. I lost Gus, needed a running back, but Evan ended up getting him. So we'll see. I don't know. Evan and I were texting today, and Shanahan.
It's a scary pickup. I mean, I think I bid $1 in the astronomical chance that nobody went after him. Obviously, that was not going to happen. But I had really no interest in him just because that situation is so murky. I mean, I remember when Shanahan, when the year they went to the Super Bowl with Tevin Coleman and Raheem Mostert, it was so impossible. I had Tevin Coleman. It was so impossible knowing who to start week to week. And with Jeff Wilson Jr., he'll be coming back very soon. JaMychal Hasty's there. And then you've got Trey Sermon, who they obviously have some draft capital in. It's just very scary. You don't know what's going to happen in the long term. But if you need a play right now, Elijah seems to be a great pickup. I just didn't know how much it would be worth fab wise. So
yeah, well,
69 doesn't sound like that's excessive. It's certainly not like a Devonta Freeman situation or a Deshaun Jackson situation. But yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how many weeks he's actually playable.
Yeah, well, I think this is the right range in terms of, I think $69, very nice, is like right where it needs to be. As you can tell, because I was $4 short, so I was kind of around that range too. And I think a couple other people were in that area, maybe a little bit less than that, but kind of all around there. Kenneth Gainwell, I picked him up for $32. Next highest was, I think, Kevin for $30. I'm interested in Kenneth Gainwell. I was kind of going back and forth between whether I wanted to really spend up to get Elijah Mitchell or just kind of go grab Kenneth Gainwell, because it looks like he's going to be involved even if, Miles Sanders is there. I mean, you got to figure the Eagles are going to be a negative game script. Kenneth Gainwell is that Boston Scott third down back role now, so we could see some good work. He did score a touchdown this weekend and had another call back. So I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens with him. Tim Patrick, wide receiver for the Denver Broncos. I picked him up for $18. I don't think anyone else tried to, or if they did.
I put in like 5 or 6.
Okay, yeah, I am in on Tim Patrick for now. I thought $18 wasn't too big of an investment. He's proven in the past that he's been useful when someone goes down, but KJ Hamler has been better in the preseason as well. So we'll see kind of where that falls.
Did KJ Hamler already get dropped by Pujan? Did that already happen?
Yes, I believe so. So,
I love it.
Well, yeah, we'll see. Speaking of Pujan, he picked up Jared Cook for $8. Tight end for the Chargers. Not bad. I like that. I like that. It's Herbert's going to throw the tight end. We saw it with Hunter Henry last year. Looks like Jared Cook's that guy. Nelson Aguilar to yourself. It's never too late in here for $7. Like that. He was on my guys I wanted to grab if I didn't get the 2 that I did. So like that pickup. Looks to be the number 1 receiver for Mac Jones in that Patriots offense. And Zach Pascal grabbed by Fresh Prince of Bel-Air for $2. Yeah, I'm fine taking the shot with that on $2. I mean, it's cheap. I personally, think it might be a flash in the pan, but for $2, why not, right? You got to go for it. So that went to Derek. Did I say that already? I can't remember. I'm already losing it.
Yeah, you are. To me, Zach Pascal, he's like in that annoying, like, do you actually start him kind of a class? Like, I think Tim Patrick was in that same class last year. Who was that? Was it Fulgham for the Eagles?
Travis Fulgham?
Yeah, in there as well.
Did you say Fulgham? Like, did you emphasize the ham?
I always emphasize the ham.
Are you? Sorry, I'll let you get back to it in a second. Are we talking like Christmas dinner ham or cold cut ham?
I'm talking Christmas dinner, sit down, plate and a half.
Like
I'm up for seconds before everyone else is finished. I'm always down for the ham.
No sides, just the ham.
I go straight for the jugular, right?
Okay.
Right for the meat. Yeah, that's me.
I like it.
So but he's in that class of like I think that he might be somebody that you can start. Especially for Derek's team, who we'll find out in power rankings kind of how I feel about Derek's team.
Oh, foreshadowing. All right, let's check out the matchups from this week, gentlemen.
Matchup recap.
Oh, whole week of great games, some blowouts, some close games, some rematches from last year. Fantastic. First on the docket, Taylor, yourself, it's never too late in her wins. Again, sick with a golf, 135.85 to 106.4. We need to talk about TJ Hawkinson, brother, because this man is going to be good this year. 25.7 fantasy points, 8 for 97, and a tutter. 10 targets.
Yeah. No, he's certainly not like Darren Waller, whatever he had, like 19 targets.
19. Ridiculous.
Yeah, insanity. But Hawkinson, I mean, he's the guy. He is the Travis Kelce on a team that is clearly not as good, but he has that role of just I think every play Jared Goff is going to be looking for Hawkinson. So I don't expect him to get 25 a week, but I do think that I really lucked out, or not even lucked out. I definitely paid for him at the 6th round price, but I think that he's going to be a positional advantage. I've already had a trade offer for him. It'll be hard for me to ever give up on Hawkinson this year. I think he's going to be sweet.
He's going to be great. D-Hop helped you out with 2 tutters as well. On Evan's team, Russell Wilson throwing for 4 tutters. Are we going to see him cook this year? I don't know. We'll see how much
he definitely
that stays.
He'll cook in September, and then we'll see what happens. I mean, if Evan does actually make it, if he makes it to the championships, which, I mean, come on, let's be real. But if Evan does happen to make it that far, that Russell Wilson will not be the one that really seals the deal at the end of the year. It's just his game. Yeah,
we'll have to see. It'll be interesting. Next game of the week, hide and Zeke. Losing to the Teddy Brewskis, 177.3 to 109.65. DeAndre Swift, I wanted to talk about him too, because he was a questionable, do we start him this week? Do we not? Well, he had 24.4 fantasy points and 8 catches. It was Hawkinson, Swift, and Jamal Williams as the Lions offense, and that was it. So love that. We got to give Brandon Cooks some love. We kind of hated on him. Ended up getting 18.2 points for the Texans.
Was that we or was that you?
I'm doing this for Alex. It was mostly Alex. Yeah. And okay. Alex told me to apologize to Tim for the Brandon Cooks call. But ultimately it wasn't enough for that beautiful Kyler Murray, Christian McCaffrey stack. Christian McCaffrey finished as the number 1 running back of the week with 27.7 points. No touchdowns though.
It's just so annoying. I know we all say it's a cheat code. It literally is the cheat code. And you add in Kyler Murray, a running quarterback who can also throw 5 tutters or whatever he did.
5 total touchdowns. Four passing touchdowns, one rushing touchdown, 36.45.
Yeah, and also, Joe, what a play for you. Sticking Antonio Brown in there last second after the Gus Bus injury, and then him blowing up, getting 23.7.
I was going to start Antonio Brown over Claypool in my flex. And then, of course, I had to end up starting Claypool too as well because of the Gus Bus injury. But yeah, I was pretty happy with AB's performance. Next game of the week, Herbert and Step Gibson versus Look at My Staffy, and Kevin pulled it out, 144.5 to 140.15. Super close, and this came down to Monday Night Football because we had Josh Jacobs going up against Darren Waller, and Darren Waller just ended up getting basically, he's the Raiders offense. 19 targets, 10 for 105 and a tutter, 26.5 fantasy points. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, just insane for Darren Waller. Definitely worth the 3rd round price. But also, Adam Thielen, 30.2. I mean, in the Vikings offense, you have Irv Smith who went down. I really think you're going to continue to see this from Thielen, where he's getting all these touchdown passes. I mean, Kirk, as soon as he gets in the backfield and he doesn't have somebody right in his grill, he immediately just looks for Adam Thielen. So yeah, I think that's going to be a common thread through the whole year.
He's automatic in the end zone. Deebo Samuel had a heck of a game too, 9 for 189 and a tutter against the Lions, of course, helping Kevin take the victory there. Hashtag 2-time versus Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the rematch of the championship game. Pooch took it again. Derek did not get his revenge, 128.65 to 118. It was Patrick Mahomes, who was a little bit nerve-wracking in the first half, but ends up finishing with 36.65 fantasy points, 337 yards, 4 touchdowns. One of those was a rushing touchdown. Man, I mean, it's, again, another cheat code, Patrick Mahomes. Even if the first half's bad, the second half is going to be fantastic, so...
Yeah, I was not really surprised with Robert Tonyan only grabbing a couple of catches there. I think that's what we're going to see this year. But Brandon Ayuk getting 0, I don't know what was up with that. And then also, how concerned are you about Najee Harris only getting 5.9? In a win, too. I'm
not really worried about Najee yet. I mean, that was a weird game. Who thought the Steelers were going to win that game? Low scoring affair. I'm not concerned about Najee. I mean, he's still getting all the work. He's a rookie. He's just got to let things it seems like he's trying to do too much, and he kind of just has to rely on the line, and I think he'll get into it. It's just might take a little bit of time. I know Pooj is high on Najee this year, and I think as he should be. Najee's going to be a great player, so I'm not too worried. I do want to highlight this. David Montgomery, 108 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. Looked pretty good. against the Rams defense. The Rams did not allow a running back to rush for 100 yards last year, and David Montgomery did it. So ultimately it wasn't enough to help Derek win, but pretty good sign from Monty there. And the last matchup of the week, the game of the week, number 10 in Joe's power ranking defeats the Dak Chubb Show, 161.95 to 137.25. Stafford had himself. We got to talk about Stafford. Taylor, you know I like Stafford. This guy had a game. Over 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, 27 and a half fantasy points. If this is the way it's going to be for Matthew Stafford, it's going to be a great year. And we'll see. Not even in fantasy land. I'm just talking in general football land. He looks good. He looks happy. That Rams team looks like they're taking names. They're taking names this year.
Definitely the name change for Thomas's team was needed because he's definitely not padding stats anymore. He's legit, and I think we're going to talk about this later. But I mean, are all 4 teams from the NFC West going to be in the playoffs? I think the Rams are. I know it's like week 1 and stuff, but I think they're a lock. I mean, coaching wise, their defense is very solid. Their offense is just going to dominate. I think they're going to roll. 49ers defense is kind of scary. How do you let the Lions almost come back and beat you? But the Seahawks, they look great. And then the Cardinals, I think they're definitely going to be a 500 team. Maybe they'll have one more win, but I could see them being in a wild card spot. I don't think, NFC North, is the NFC North worse than the NFC least? Maybe. I think so.
Ooh.
Vikings are terrible.
I'm not ready to put them there yet. I think we have to see like 3-4 more games to because do you remember how bad the NFC least was last year? I mean, it was gross.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that is a possibility in the NFC West.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll have to see what happens. It was the Dak Chubb show for the Dak Chubb show. 31.45 points for Dak, 22.1 for Nick Chubb. Dak is. I don't know if you watched any of that Thursday night game, but I have loved Dak. I started to like Dak the last 2 years, and anyone who hates on Dak, I have no patience for it anymore. This guy is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and I don't care what anybody says. This guy's amazing. He's going to have a heck of a season. I mean, 400 yards in the first game against the Bucs defense. I know the secondary was beat up, but he's gonna. I mean, MVP candidate. I think it'll see it happening.
It'll depend on how his team does, but certainly Dak is very good. I think it's just like a case study in like you give somebody a bunch of weapons, you give them a running back, you give them 2 stud wide receivers. Quarterbacks are going to be good, and then you look at like all these other quarterbacks that have not worked out or are in questionable situations. I think it just comes down to like, okay, what system do you get involved with? I mean, Justin Herbert is clearly in a great one and he's succeeding and thriving. Tua, not the same thing.
Not so much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Nick Chubb, I got to tell you, I gotta hype my dude up because I saw him live on Sunday and oh my gosh, he just looks so good. I mean, the way he runs, the way he breaks tackles. I mean, this guy, I love Nick Chubb, and he's going to be an amazing running back this year. I just had to throw that out there because I had to. We got to do it. All right, let's look at the standings in the East. We'll get to this in a second, but in the East, the only 1-0 team. Look at my Staffy at number 1. Kevin at the top of the list here. The Dak Chubb Show at 0-1. At number 2, same with Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, 0-1 at 3. Then Hide and Zeke at 0-1. And Sick with the Golf at 5 at 0-1 as well. In the West, everyone atop. The top 4 teams are 1-0. Teddy Brewski's in first place. Number 10 in Joe's power ranking. Number 2, It's Never Too Late at 3. Hashtag 2-time at 4. And the only 0-1 team in the West, Herbert and Step Gibson. And that means we'll check in on the East-West Bowl after week 1. The West is up 4-1. 4-1 already. 743.9 points for to 615.8. That's a pretty good spread. So we're off to a great start here, boys. West Coast, Best Coast is killing the game here. And fortunately, we have a whole other week of East-West Bowl matchups coming up this week. So we can further bury the East. I don't see how they can crawl themselves out of this one. Of course, you can check out all the stats. They're all fully updated on the official league website at bmhdleague.wixsite.com/bmhd. East-West Bowl's updated. Standings are updated. All your stats on your homepage, on your team pages are updated. And, of course, all the power rankings that we're about to get into.
Power rankings. Hooah.
Another week of power rankings, and this time it's just Tay and I. Just our power rankings, Tay. It's just us.
Just like the old days.
It's the dynamic duo here. The best friends. All right. I think we had a little bit of a debate here. I'm sure we'll have some rioting after these power rankings, as we always do.
I mean, let's just preface this. It's only been a week. You know, like it's so hard to tell what's going to actually happen. Yeah. It's so hard to. It's kind of like I like parts of everyone's team. I don't like other parts of everybody's team, and this was a tough one. We did the best we could.
It's too early to tell. So, but can't make excuses. Coming in at number 10, hide and Zeke. Tim coming in at number 10. He finished the year last year on a strong note, but he was in that Sacco conversation, and he's back in that 10 spot. We'll have to see what happens. Bit of a rough week. I think, was he the lowest score? No, he was second lowest scoring this week.
Yeah. How are we feeling about Zeke? How are we feeling about Juju having to start him? It feels kind of gross right now.
A little bit rough. Coming in at number 9, the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Derek coming in at 9. Coming off a loss to the defending champ. And, just a little bit of a rough week for Derek, too. I'm hoping Derrick Henry turns it around. It was just a mess for the Titans all Sunday. So, I mean, that's the backbone of his team right there.
The big one for me, why he's this low, is if you look at his bench. I mean, you got Will Fuller, who, I mean, we'll see what happens now that he's actually playing. But then Michael Thomas, I mean, will he even play this year? Will he ever play football again? Because it feels like his career is just over based on the last 2 years.
Wow.
Elijah Moore, will he ever be relevant? I just don't see it. Russell Gage popping out a big old goose egg, helping me out for this.
Can we talk about that?
For this Ham's challenge that we're trying to do.
I texted I hope you saw the text thread this weekend. The Tyrell Williams Russell Gage
The text thread was insane.
It was, it was absolutely
what is it?
insane.
Thomas said, like turn off notifications. He sent that in. Yeah, no, the text thread was wild this weekend. That was awesome.
The Tyrell Williams Russell Gage Bowl is currently 3.4-0 in favor of Tyrell Williams, and I'm secretly hoping it somehow stays like that all year. I would happily take the L if that was the case, just for the fun of it. Coming in at number 8. This is where we had our first disagreement, was 8 and 7 here. So let's put them together. We had the Dak Chubb show at 8 and Herbert and Step Gibson at 7. And I had those flipped. You had them like this at 8 and 7.
Dude, don't throw me under the bus here. Come on.
I'm not throwing you under the bus. I'm just saying I like Marshall's team more than Kelsey's.
Okay, make the argument then.
All right. I'm just like, you're looking at, I just talked about it. Nick Chubb, Dak Prescott, Tyreek Hill. And that's the kind of the foundation we're talking about. I think Nick Chubb is, I just told you, I love me some Nick Chubb. I know James Robinson's a little scary. Julio Jones is going to be better than what he was this weekend. And I don't mind his bench either. I mean, he's got some good running back depth. Gronk there ended up working out. We'll see how long that lasts. So I don't mind his team. I just think, Kelsey's team has some great wide receivers, but not a lot of depth at running back, and that just kind of scares me.
Yeah, I love Kelsey's receivers. Like Devontae Adams, I mean, that game was so annoying because here I was like, oh, I've got this game in the bag. And then Aaron Rodgers throws 2 picks and is not playing at the end. And that was awesome. But having Devontae Adams, he'll bounce back. Keenan Allen, I think Keenan Allen, sneaky top 3 receiver this year. I think he's going to get so much work. Like I said, I really like Adam Thielen this year. I think that he's just going to get targeted during garbage time for the Vikings, which we know they're going to be there a lot. T. Higgins, I really like. I mean, he was balling out last year. I really like that. I think he's just so deep. He's got Devonta Smith on the bench. I'm just a fan of the upside in his receivers. And then the running backs I like Nick Chubb a lot, obviously, but James Robinson, I grabbed him in another league, and I am like shaking in my boots.
You're tilting right now, aren't you?
James Robinson, that's very, very scary. Like, is Carlos Hyde going to be like the number 1? I mean, how bad are the Jags going to be? Is Urban Meyer going to be the coach by the end of the year?
I'm telling you, I told you, Urban Meyer's got 2 years. Either he's fired or he quote unquote retires at the end of 2 years because he's not winning.
For the 9th time. Yeah.
Yes.
So, but yeah, just the running backs having to play Leonard Fournette. Don't like that. But yeah, I mean, again, it was close.
All right, that's fair. Coming in at 6, sick with a Goff. Coming in at 5, look at my Staffy. So yeah, Evan and Kevin back to back in the power rankings. Kevin was the only one that got the win in the East, so that's why he's on top, I think. Also, too, his team has some pretty big boom potential, and the Darren Waller pick is, we know now there's no way that pick in the second round or third round, I think, is going to bust. 19 targets. I mean, Derek Carr looks at nobody else. I heard someone say, like, find someone who looks at you the way Derek Carr looks at Darren Waller, and that's just the truest thing I've ever heard. Evan, little bit of a rough week. I think Evan's tilting a little bit on a couple players, and I think he's going to be fine. Just a little bit of a kind of strange. I mean, did anyone see the Titans kind of blowing up the way they did? No.
Aaron Jones getting like 6 points or whatever it was.
We know that's not going to happen. Eckler was playing the Washington football team. That we got to remember that defense is like probably the best in the league, maybe second best below Pittsburgh. So
yeah, but the scariest part for Eckler was 0 targets.
Yes, 0 targets. That was kind of strange. He did get a goal line carry, which was good. I doubt the 0 targets is going to. Yeah. I doubt Touchdown 0 targets is going to be the norm for Eckler, though. He's just too good of a pass catcher. Coming in at number 4, not number 10, is number 10 in Joe's power ranking. He's going to be mad. I can already hear it. He scores, 161 points this weekend. And it's Thomas coming in at number 4.
Yeah, for me, it's the outlook here. I mean, he's got Saquon, who, like we already talked about, it's hard. It's a hard one to see him blowing up and being the Saquon of like 3 years ago, his rookie season. Miles Gasman, he's solid, but then after that, it's just you got Kareem Hunt, very good, but like Alexander Mattison, Justin Jackson, like you're not going to play those dudes. Now Robbie Anderson, now that Christian McCaffrey's back, I think that Robbie Anderson is going to come back to being like a 2 receptions. Maybe he gets a long ball here and there, but I don't think he's going to be the PPR machine like he was last year. Terry McLaurin, I'm terrified. I would definitely not want him. I mean, what is his trade value at this point? I just think he's limited as far as having boom games. I think that he did it this week. I think that that's the best that he ever could have hoped for. It's just a bleak outlook here for Thomas.
So you're saying he's limited, not unlimited, right?
Limited.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, he boomed this week. The Kelsey thing is, of course, a cheat code. Once Saquon gets back, I think the outlook gets bright, a little bit brighter. But some a couple question marks that we'll see if they pan out.
I'm also just trying to, up the rivalry between Thomas and I. So.
All right, that's fair. All right, should we do these next 3 in a row? Because I feel like I think we have to, because otherwise we're going to hear it. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1 in this order. Hashtag 2-time at 3. It's never too late nor at 2. And Teddy Bruschi's at 1. Please don't get mad.
Yeah, we even called in an expert, Evan. about, and we just wanted to double check. But that's just the way. And again, it's only been 1 week. We did the best that we could. I really like. I think just Joe's starters are the best. I do not envy his bench at all. But of his starters, I mean, obviously we saw it this week. He had the highest point total. So
I will say I am one injury away from a very difficult, difficult thing. So I know that I got some, I got to do some work. But yeah, and your team too, looking good. Cooper Kupp's the guy in LA now. I mean, not that he wasn't, and not that Robert Woods is irrelevant, but Cooper Kupp and Matthew Stafford are best friends. They're going to be so many points there. And Pooch's team, of course, Patrick Mahomes, Corey Davis, I think is going to be. I was bummed when Corey Davis went before I could snag him in the draft. I think he's going to have a good season despite the Jets being bad as per usual. And CeeDee Lamb, if this is just the beginning of what he can do, then that pick's going to be all the more worth it. So really like that for Pooch. I guess you can send your hate mail at us this week.
I would love for somebody to post in the Facebook page their power rankings. I would love to see what everybody. I want to check the pulse on the group here. See how we're feeling after week 1.
Feel free to do that. You could also reminder to check out the power rankings new trend graph on the website. It's kind of cool little feature. Got to plug the website here. And without further ado, how about some matchups?
Matchup preview.
Getting off to a good start here with matchups. Matchup number 1 of the week, the Teddy Brewskis taking on the Dak Chubb show. Man, I'm telling you, it could be the defense whisperer by this weekend because, that's how Marshall beats me, is with the defenses.
Yeah, but the Colts are playing the Rams, so I don't think that'll be how it goes.
I'm sure that won't be his defense.
Broncos are playing the Jaguars, who, I mean, they couldn't stop anything, and they were playing the Texans last week. So I think you'll be all right.
A little bit rough. We'll see. I don't know. I always got to hold my breath against Marshall. Game 2, number 2 game of the week. Okay, I can't talk. Number 2 game of the week. Fresh Prince of Bel-Air taking on Taylor. It's never too late there. Taking on Derek. How you feeling, brother?
Excited. I feel very good about this. I think last year we had a little bet. If you got a bet that you want to throw my way here, Derek, on the results of this game, I will listen. I'm open to anything here.
Love it. Third game of the week, Hide and Zeke taking on number 10 in Joe's power ranking. Tim and Thomas. I can already hear Thomas, trash talking Tim, but not trash talking Tim. You know what I mean? Like Tim will text Thomas and say, "Hey man, looking forward to our matchup," and Thomas will just shred him with 2 words.
Yeah,
I feel like that just happens all the time.
Silent killer.
I will say though, Tim is favored right now by 10 points.
Yeah, 134 projected total. Insane.
Pretty wild. I think that's the highest this week. Game number 4, look at my Staffy versus hashtag 2-time. Kevin and Pooj going at it. I'm sorry. Kevin's projected total is the highest of the week. He's favored by 8 points over Pooj, 138.3 to 130.3. Both 1-0. Should be fun. Actually, this is the only 1-0 versus 1-0 matchup this week. So someone won't be undefeated in this matchup after this week.
Come on, Pooj. Come on, Pooj. Do it for the West.
Yeah, win it for the West. And coming in, number 5, the matchup, Sick with a Goff versus Herbert and Step Gibson, Kelsey and Evan going at it. Kelsey is favored by 2 points. So
2.1. Should be a close one. Should be a close one.
What's the game of the week? We didn't pick a game of the week.
Game of the week, I would say it is the battle we just talked about. It is the 5th place West Division Kelsey Ordway versus 5th place in the East Division Evan Boehm. I think that is the real battle royale that everyone needs to have their eyes on.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen, the game of the week. reflected in the primetime data on the website. Should be a pretty fun one. Also, we got to talk about some pigskin pick'em, baby. This was fun. I hope people enjoyed this. I think it's going to be a fun thing all season. I went through this a little bit last night. The most commonly wrong was Dallas covering Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay was favored by -6.5. Excuse me, favored by 6.5.
-6.5, Joe.
Yeah, so that's my bad. Sorry. I'm still out of shape, man. I'm out of football shape. So Dallas, of course, lost by 2, and they almost won the game. Honestly, they should have won the game, but Tom Brady's good at football, but I hate him. And then the other most commonly wrong was, of course, Pittsburgh winning at Buffalo. I don't think anybody saw that. Buffalo was favored by 6.5 as well. Steelers won outright 23-16. The most commonly correct, though, was Seattle winning at Indianapolis. Everyone kind of picked on this. Colts were favored by 2.5 at home.
Yes,
but
no way.
Carson
Wentz is done. Wentz is done.
I don't know if... I mean, I was kind of ready to close the book on it. I think he could have a subpar season this year, but... Yeah,
it's
I don't know,
over.
man. Colts got some work to do. And of course, the other most commonly correct was the Rams beating Chicago in LA. Rams were favored by 6.5, and of course they won by 20 because they're great. So standings, first place, we've got 4 people tied for first place in the Pigskin Pick'em standings. That is Taylor, you, myself, Joe, Nathan Frost, and Ethan Shantz. These guys, I don't know. They must be someone's students.
Yeah, can we see some ID?
Yeah,
Who are these people, and are they of age?
Give us a shout out on the YouTube or the whatever. Whose students are you? Please tell us that. Number 2, Pooj is coming in at number 2 in the standings, and then number 3 is another 3-way tie, TJ Malema, if I'm saying that right, Rowan Weirda, and Kevin Williams. So
again, need some ID on
those guys. And I just want to highlight this: the winning picks. So we can name our brackets, right? So I noticed that Thomas named his entry the winning picks. So then I went in and named mine the real winning picks. Well, Thomas, you didn't even fill the thing out, dude. So
shame.
You got 0. Shame on you. You're in last place, Thomas, and it's going to stay that way. So now, Thomas, now you're number 10 in the Pigskin Pick'em rankings. Congratulations.
Ouch.
All right. Let's. We got one last thing to do. Some lock it down picks of the week. Taylor and I both picked one game that we are smashing the team that we're picking because we think that it is a walk in the park.
Yeah.
What do you got, Tay?
For me, Chiefs favored by 3.5, and it's at the Ravens. I'll smash the Chiefs on that. Are you kidding me? The Ravens, I think that they're going to be a hot mess this year. I'm calling a losing record. If they get down even a little bit, I just don't think that they can come back. I think their wonderful magic season, they were playing with a lead all the entire year. I just don't see that happening for the Ravens this year. So I'll smash the Chiefs on 3.5.
I love it. I like to hear that. The game is in Baltimore, but last year's matchup on Monday Night Football, Chiefs kind of ran away with it. I think we may see the same as well. I like that pick there. My pick, I'm smashing the Rams at the Colts. Rams are favored by 3.5. I think the Rams win by at least a touchdown. We've talked about it. The defense is so good. The offense with Stafford, there are no limits. Yeah. Even with
the Colts
defense
very
is good. Yeah, the Colts defense is good minus their cornerbacks. So, I think the passing game is going to have a day for the Rams, and I am smashing those LA Rams. All right, one more. Big Tays. Big upset of the week. Who you got, Tay? Who's the upset of the week?
First of all,
by the way.
When you call me Big Tay, it's like flashbacks to like when I was like a kid and I actually like was a really big kid.
Should I show you what your contact card photo is on my phone? Because it is that picture.
Oh no. You need to keep that picture hidden from the rest of the world.
I love it.
So my big upset of the week, I was between this one and another game. Cowboys at Chargers. Chargers favored 2.5. I think the Cowboys, they come away with the W here. I think that, LA's team is going to be the Rams this year. The Chargers are the forgotten son. They're the redheaded stepchild.
Oh, no.
I think,
they're the Andy Dalton?
Exactly. Yeah, no. There's going to be more Cowboys fans at that game in LA than there are Chargers fans. And I don't know. I think the Cowboys offense is just way too good. I think the Chargers, they're going to need some time to gel, new coach and everything like that. I bet the Cowboys come in and I bet they score. They put up, over 35 points. Their offense is incredible. So I'm hitting the Cowboys on that one.
And you're picking an outright win, not just to cover.
No, not just to cover. They're going to win that game.
Beautiful. Love to hear it. So I got to ask, Christmas ham or Thanksgiving turkey? What's the winner there?
Give me Christmas ham.
Christmas ham over Thanksgiving
Christmas
turkey.
ham.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm shocked by that. Well, that's going to do it for us, guys, this week. Big game tonight. Washington football team versus the New York Giants.
Big game.
Bit of a snooze fest. We got the first guest host of the week. Next week, one of you guys is coming on the show. Looking forward to it. And I think that's all we got. Anything else, Tay?
No. Excited for another week. Peace.
Peace out, guys.
Thank you for listening to another episode of the Bands Make Her Dance Fantasy Football League podcast.